Hello, everybody. This is Paul Posey, and I am here with my good friend Daytrail. He is one of my change agents, and we're about to have a conversation. And I tell you, I have a feeling it's going to be something great.
Absolutely.
Daytrail, tell the people about who you are, where you come from, and how did you get with the change agents?
Dave Trail. I'm a Alabama native. I ran into Paul some years ago at a function where there was a couple of other servicemen. We were just doing some networking for business, and Paul was doing his photography thing. Uh, right off the bat, it was a nice little click. We went to some kind of bowling thing shortly thereafter. Exchanged numbers, got cool, stayed in contact. Um, And how did I run into the change? You mentioned it, and it was always on the back of my mind. Once I stopped doing I tried to stretch with a monkey master, a seafood monkey
Yes.
master, and he left and went out of the country. So then I was like, you know what? My Saturdays are free now. So
Oh, snap.
I registered on Eventbrite, and after the first class, I was like, hey, I love it.
Yeah.
It's start working on some inner things, and the whole program fit my what I was looking for that I didn't even know I needed
Yes.
immediately. So
I noticed that there's so many things you do, but to be able to put this in there too, you says, I need this, and I
yes,
need this, and
yes.
you're just putting it together. Why are you putting it together? What makes you, at this point in your life, that says, I need to gather all these things to be the most powerful person I could be?
If I ball this up right here,
Yeah.
right now, it'll leave a bunch of wrinkles, which is what life has led me to a point where it's some wrinkles need to be ironed out. There's a lot of things that need to be addressed, and that leads me to what I gained from your seminars was one of my primary intentions and focus is to see how I can break some of the generational uh, downfalls, shall I
Downfalls.
say?
I,
Yeah,
I, okay, I would say redirect our families
redirect the
and things
family.
like that because the new people don't know. They don't know it's a generational issue. They don't know that the family hasn't evolved. They
Yes.
just show up in the family and this is what they
Yes,
have.
yes.
And I think as we get older, we have to find a way to let them know or show them where we should be. We don't do that enough. We don't get where we should be enough to the idea as we teaching them and telling them and showing them because the people before us wasn't in the business we're in now.
They were hiding it. That's the business that they were doing. Or
Yeah.
you mean as far as bringing it to the table?
Exposing it and,
Yeah.
and redirecting it themselves on their time.
Yeah.
See, it's on our time that we're doing the redirecting.
Right.
It's not on their time because they want us to give them grace and says they did the best with what they had. Well,
Yep.
we can't live like that now because what we're looking at right now is the fact that our children can actually see what dysfunction is. They can hear what a narcissist is.
can hear it,
They
yeah.
they know everything. They have access to everything.
Yeah.
They have access to understanding what types of personalities we have and things like that. Like when my daughter told me I was a hypersexual, and I was like, "Are you trying to?"
How did
Yeah,
that feel when you got did you notice that?
yeah. I was like, well, "Where'd you get that from?"
Right.
Don't be talking to me like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, so I had to Google it, and she was right.
You wasn't aware, honestly?
I know I didn't know what that was. I did not have access to that
Oh,
information.
man, okay.
I might have lived it, but I didn't know they
Okay,
labeled it.
okay.
But and letting her telling me that made me look at myself in another way. What have I been showing my children? So in her telling me that made me look at my life a different way. What have I been showing my children? See, we keep missing the point is their point of view is not our point of view.
Uh-huh.
What they see is not what we see, right? And because the information is out there, you can see it from a whole different space now who my people really are and what they're really doing. Are they really accountable?
Right.
Are they responsible? All those things come out because you can actually see. You can even do personality quizzes to figure out more about yourself.
Was that the conception, or was that the starting point for you to approach the change agent or negative positive?
No, I kind of felt like they've made too many me's.
What do you mean?
Sons without fathers, without direction, without the understanding of family. You haven't been given a book of traditions. You're just going to have to do it on your own.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't want, because when you do it on your own, you'll find that you'll waste a lot of time, waste a lot of money.
Yep.
And it's not fair to the people that you're creating. We did not get a good start to give them a greater start. We're just living in the space that say, hey, what y'all do is what y'all do. And that's where we come from, is what y'all do is what y'all do. But I just felt like that I know better. Now I need to do better. And I just can't leave it for chance for my sons and my grandsons. That's our job.
Yeah.
And we've had it so bad for so long, we didn't even know our job is to lead our families. You know, with the best thought is you need to grow and you need to evolve. You need to be greater than me.
Right.
We have people in our past who are angry and jealous of the children that they made.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where we're at.
When I noticed that, I came up with a little saying, and I said, well, Mom, Dad, you guys excel in these areas right here. And then together you get me, and then I had to make it seem, well, it was the truth.
You're selling them an idea?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And so once I presented it like that, it seemed like it resonated with them, and it appeared to be all right. My pops told me, he said, son, I was jealous of you when you had that car. I was jealous of you when you was out there flying across the country. So I was like, are you serious? Are we just talking? I think he was kind of serious. But again, I had to. That's what I sold him that part. It was like, well, I get it from you, man. The parents make the kids better. And I think what's happening with the generation today is that the parents, particularly the mothers, they spoil the kids so much. They pour so much into them on a materialistic level.
Yes.
That, and the dad, wherever he is, they come out rotten. They're not prepared for the real environment outside of the home.
Well, spoil, if you look up the definition of spoil, the word rotten is in the definition. But also I found out this. What we tend to do is to give our kids what we didn't have, which materialistic privileges without the materialistic privileges responsibility. There lies the issue. They don't care about what you give them. These children are sponges and chalkboards.
So how do we stop that then? Give them what we didn't have.
Well, if you want them to have certain things, then you have to give them certain responsibilities. You got to give them a class on what responsibility is, what accountability is. Then you can give it to them. Then they will treat it different. Case in point, quite often, those who can give their kids new cars, give them new cars, but you didn't give them the responsibility before the new cars. And what do?
Break it.
There you go. Yeah. So we know what that's like, right?
Yeah.
So giving a son a car that he has to finish putting it together, who has to do the maintenance on, he's going to take care of that car longer. Yeah. That's it right there. So you got some responsibility and accountability to go with that. So you make sure that it all just comes together, because if you don't do it, what's going to happen is you're going to ruin it. And now they got the loss lesson comes. Then they want to get a car, and then they'll treat it better the second time around.
Sounds good.
So it's just something that if we don't do that first, because we need to analyze what went wrong. That's what we're not doing. We need to analyze what went wrong with our parents, what was given, what was missing. This is what we talk about on the first day, what we wish we got from our parents, and what we really did get from our parents.
Now, when the parents happen to see this work that's being put out, and they hear this, I hope that they don't go and think that somebody's judging, right? We're just looking at it from a truthful point of view and trying to find a solution to a clear problem. I do recognize that the parents were just doing what they thought was best. When I look back at how my grandmother raised me, she definitely provided a nice shelter, discipline. She fed me. We went to church. So I did have a baseline of how the morals came about. And then, I grew up and I realized I started looking at I had my cousins who had their mom and dad. In the way that they were governed by their parents were different. They were in their lives. They were taking them to the games and talking to them about their grades. For me, I think maybe I wasn't just that bad in that area as far as like in school per se, but I always was jealous of them.
Really?
I told
they had
them.
it going on. Two parent things.
Yeah.
Just really happening, right?
I was like, oh man, even now to this day, I look at them and I look at, well, how did that impact your life? And they're great parents now.
Yes, because it was modeled in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have to create the model of the parent.
And it don't have to be perfect.
And what you said earlier was about not judge.
Yeah.
I think we should judge, because when we don't judge, we're letting people off the hook. We're not condemning.
Okay.
The people like to put them.
Okay.
There's two different things.
Okay.
Either you're judging or
Yeah.
you're condemning. And I have a feeling that we're getting it wrong, because we have to understand that in order to make change, you're going to have to judge.
Yes.
But we don't want to do that. We don't want our shame dragged in front of us. And
Facts.
this is our shame.
Facts.
This is it. This is it.
Facts.
This is what I've done.
Yeah.
We don't want that, especially if you fail as a parent. So then you get those parents that are out of order when they're talking to their kids. Now, see, that was the thing with me and my mother. She didn't want to be accountable for anything she chose
Big
to
word
do.
right there.
Right? So there was always something nasty she had to say to me to stop me from having that conversation. And that's where we got to the points where I had to stop talking to her.
Even in adulthood?
Even, especially as an adulthood.
No,
See, as adulthood, there is no limit for her. There was no limit telling me to shut the fuck up.
Well, I will won't allow you to say that to me anymore. I won't come around.
Oh, then we just stopped. Well, the most ultimate thing she said to me, she never loved me. So that was enough. No more. The nasty words and the angry words weren't the words that got me to stop. When she actually told me she didn't love me, that got me to stop. Stop asking. Because we naturally want to know where we come from. We naturally want to hear our parents' stories. But if you're going to lie and fabricate, because eventually it does come out.
Right.
And the unfortunate thing is they tend to come out when they're almost exiting. When you had 40 years to tell the story, to tell the truth.
I thought on that transitioning bed phase, you want to tell them, oh, I loved you. I just didn't know how to say it. You got those harsh words.
I don't
to
want
the
that.
end. You want the truth.
I don't want that then, because you only got a couple of days left.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I want to experience this
Yeah,
love
like
that you
I
talk
was going
of.
to give you some of this sandwich, but I ate it. That's pretty much it. I was going to give you some of this sandwich. I know you starved.
Yeah.
But I ate it.
Okay.
That's what I don't want that on
Fair enough.
my last days, is to say, I wish I could have, water. No, you have an opportunity every day. If you can get high, you can have sex, you
Yeah.
can do whatever you want,
Yeah.
you can fix your family.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of the things they're holding back is more than 40 years old. How about that? The things they're having trouble with didn't happen last week.
It's been growing, sitting there, lingering, and spreading,
Yes.
and not even want to be addressed.
No, I don't. No, they're not in the business of cleaning it up. So this is the clean it up phase, right? So we can actually deal with our children and our grandchildren at the same time to evaluate what you got and what you didn't get and what you wish you had.
This is advanced.
Now we can just talk about how we're going to deliver it to the grandkids, because it's all about modeling. If you're not sure, just model what you want for your kids. Model it, right?
So let me ask you something. So since we are here,
Yes.
this is ultimate for me.
Yes.
When you ask me what are we working on, what am I working on, my primary answer was me first.
Yes.
That's why the seminar was so profound to me. It's just you pretty much structured everything that needed to be looked at, and you crossed the T's and dotted the I's and put emphasis here, and this is amazing. So I think this is real good for people to take the chance to reach out and use this, man. We really appreciate you.
If they're not afraid.
I appreciate you.
Well, thank you. If they're not afraid, they can do it. But if you're afraid that you're going to have to look at your elders different, if you're going to evaluate everything your mother said to you, everything your father said to you, why your father's really missing, why your mom is really missing, why they're not married, why they didn't have full-fledged relationships, all that's in there. And there lies the problem. You have to be judged by the actions you've done. Now we got to call it out. So you weren't married to my mom? Why didn't you marry my mom? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Why didn't we live with dad? Why does dad have another family down the street? They're not answering any of that. They're living in that, but they're not answering. And what I mean by that is the attitude that they have, the alienation they do with kids, they're living in that. And that's the problem, because you have to grow up and then reach to the point you're brave enough to ask, why is it this way and why can't it be the other way?
So that sounds like there was a stunted growth there, because they know it'd be hard to bring this to some elders and expect them to say, well, you know what? I do have a couple of families, and I never discussed this. I swept it up under the rug for years. And but the evolution, just discussing it instead of hiding it and ducking and hiding the conversations, or even just about cause a fight if you ask for some old past things.
Absolutely.
But just discussing it would be a good start. Yeah, it's probably gonna hurt and anger and all other kind of emotions is gonna come about, but the growth from it'll go for generations.
Our parents and grandparents never have this. They never have access. They never have an outlet. They never have help. So they're not. We're not repeating anything. This is brand new.
Okay.
There lies the problem.
Okay.
What they've gone through, they held it in a position where I don't want to hurt anymore, but I'm out here, I'm winging it. I'm making these mistakes, and look at these kids, and look what I've done. All that comes back on you. It's a lot. We've got therapy that we can go to now. We've got circles we can go to now.
Right.
They're stuck in their decisions, and how their lives look is according to their decisions.
Okay. You hit a lot then.
Yeah. They don't know. They don't know they could have done this.
Even when they saw the results of their decisions, you see that, oh, my child is doing the same thing.
They're the results of their parents' decision.
So why we can't? Well, going to church, they say they use the term generational curses. They want to break them.
Actually, it's generationally lazy. When it's your turn, what you do when it's your turn. That's, you know what I'm saying? What you do when it's your turn. This is you're the head of the family now. You've put yourself in a position. You're the head of the family now. Are you going to run it like they used to run it?
No.
Or are you going to find a new way to run it?
Yeah.
But no one told you had to redefine the leadership in your family. But we see it now. We watch it now. Well, I used to say, coming up as a kid, the conversations they used to tell us, the jokes they used to make about dads and dads missing, that was enough right there. That ain't funny.
Yeah.
You know, all these jokes, they ain't funny. And now we have to live with that. So what are we going to do about it? When you realize it's not funny anymore, and you're a male, and you have kids, what are you saying to the world, to your kids? You couldn't make this better, Dad? You made this, but you didn't make it better. And then, once your kids recognize that their grandparents are out of order, what are you going to tell them? That's the problem we have. What are you going to tell your kids about what they see? They're not blind. They can't be blinded. That's our job.
That's a fight.
Well,
just a battle we were prepared to have at this point. And the battle means just discussion. If you want to get upset about what's
I think
interest.
Emotions that cause you to not grow often are the problem for our families. And I go back to shame.
Okay.
Because I should be shameful for some of the decisions I made, but I'm not. Because I can live with what I made and I can change my behavior. So I'm not big on apologies. So what you'll find if you're dealing with me, I will probably change the behavior. And then if I cannot fix what I broke, then I'll apologize. But if you don't, if my character has rubbed this the wrong way and it's not working, then it's up to me to find a way.
That's interesting. I'm pretty sure you said exactly what you meant. I wonder, does anybody else approach it that way? It's different.
You have to surrender to change.
Okay.
You can't hold on to pieces that you don't want other people to deal with, to be in charge of. Right. I own all this. I own everything.
Right.
Everything that I've broken, everything that I've done, I just own up to it. I'm not looking for people to give me an attaboy for it. I'm looking to live a better life, and it's going to work for my kids because I'm living a better life
Right.
individually. That character part, you know. I had a good friend of mine tell me the other day. She says, "Paul, I'm a good woman, but I'm not a nice woman." And I was like, wow.
Had to think about it.
She says, "I'm a good woman, but I'm not a nice woman." I get that. I'm a good man, I'm not a nice man. Because I'll say some things that rub people the wrong way because in the line of truth, I ain't got time to sugarcoat everything.
What's good and nice?
Good is I'll do the right thing, but I may not say it the right way.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That would be it. I won't do it that way.
You got a pretty good tone as far as I'm concerned with your communication. Are you saying you're blunt with your responses? What makes it not nice? Because you just told someone...
It might not be a truth you're ready to hear.
Ah.
That would... People...
I don't think that don't sound like that's the definition.
Well, you haven't been in some of the conversations I've been because some people, when you just tell them the truth, you know, truth sometimes, majority of the time, requires change. Lies don't.
You be saying stuff.
I'm just saying.
Just wrote down.
And I don't even smoke weed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, truth requires change.
Yeah.
Well, when you hear the truth, it's up to you what you're going to do about it. There's something, you know, you didn't know, so we need to talk about. How do we really get here as a family, right? You got people out there. Young man called me one day. He was crying.
Right.
And he says, "I just found out that my uncle is my daddy."
Oh, yeah, that's not uncommon.
Yeah, so my uncle is my daddy. That's not a good truth. So when I talk to the mother, because I know them, he found out, he told me and I told her, she gets mad. Because her secret, her shame is out, but she does not know how much that destroyed that young man.
Something terrible.
Yes, for him to call me crying.
Was he an adult?
Yes. So it's hard to get people to be accountable for everything they've done.
Right.
And the only time they're accountable is when they get caught.
You ain't got too much of a choice. Some people still lie.
Yeah, I've been caught before. So I gave up lying in 2012, and I just tell the truth now.
How you come up with the year? The
that was right after my divorce.
I am done with those.
Yeah. So sometimes you ask me questions, I can tell you when it happened. In the reflection of life, you know exactly what happened and where it took place at.
Okay.
But if you walk your life back, you'll be able to see what took place at that time, how you felt, and your decision-making factors. Your decision-making factors. There's factors that made you make that decision. Majority of the time when I looked at my past, I noticed that it was an emotional decision I made, not a logical decision to keep everything moving forward. I wanted to feel better in the space that I was, but I did not look at the bigger picture of everybody who's in that space with me and my role as dad to make sure everybody's going to be all right.
How do you deal with regret again?
I don't have any. The only regret I have is I wasted my children's time by not getting myself together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, other than that, I can't regret anything. I can't fix it. Listen, man, if you can't change it, live up to it. We can't change our past, live up to it. Just live up to it. You did it. You was there. The only difference between 20-year-old young men now and 20-year-old me was the internet.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah, there you go. They capture your life now, but they weren't capturing our life then.
Right.
So a lot of things we did in the dark, we didn't think it was going to come to the light. Like that gentleman who just got caught with the coworker, the billionaire got caught with the coworker.
Yeah. He was a billionaire?
Yeah.
Okay.
20, 30 years ago, before the internet, he'd have got away with that. Only the people in the stands would have knew, right? But now, since you're standing out there, everybody knows what you're doing.
She's getting half.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, he deserved that. Whatever happens to him, he deserves it. But he didn't know he was going to get caught like that. So
Right.
just like they said, you can always enjoy what you're doing until you get caught. And once you get caught, it's on you.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've been caught before.
Red-handed.
Rick.
I had an older guy
Yeah.
tell me a long time ago. He said, "Man, he said even if my wife friend caught me in the mall holding hands with another woman, he said I'm lying." I was like, "Well, even if she recorded," he said, "It wasn't me." I don't know where you get that from.
Well,
Well,
if you get caught, you might as well. The gig is up.
what you gonna do?
My relationship's over. I'm not going back. I'm not. What I learned is there's suffering in survival of your relationship.
What do you mean? When it's over, you still trying to fight for it?
No, when it's over, don't.
Okay.
When it's over, it's over. Just go on about your
That's
business.
suffering,
Go
yeah.
get a new life. Tell the truth and exit.
Be
Stage
heard?
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the lying, it's the lying. See, the thing about lying comes with such of amount of insult on your intelligence. That's the problem with lying. It insults your intelligence.
What about you're willing to tell them, but not right now?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story about not right now.
Uh-oh.
I met a wonderful woman. We dated for 2 years, and I didn't want to tell her about my last son.
Okay.
And I said I wasn't going to tell her about my son, my youngest son, until I established a relationship with him.
Okay.
Because the mother kept him from me. And I was like, because women tend to tell you, hey, that's a baby. You got to do everything you can to be in that baby's life, no matter what,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Well, I'd been down that road 3 times. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say anything to her until I establish the relationship with the child.
That sounds fair.
It sounds fair. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you how it went. So I did. What I did was, when I did get to establish the relationship, so I thought it was established. I called her on the phone and I was telling her, like I said, I will tell her about him when I can establish a relationship. She screamed at me. She called me a coward, and that was the end of our relationship.
No more?
No more. I couldn't. Well, it's more to
Little
that
bit,
day,
yeah,
but I could not take another emotional blow.
Okay.
So to answer your question, no, always tell. There's no right time for the truth. Just tell the truth, because when you tell the truth, you give people options. When you don't tell the truth and you omit, and people like to omit, you're taking away the options.
First date, open book, everything?
If they ask,
Okay.
that's the key. You know, when I wrote that book right there, it's all about asking everything as much as you can up front, so you can make a good decision.
Okay.
Because what people like for you to do is not make the decision, not look at all the information, and just say, hey, would you want to be with me? Yeah, I want to be with you. All right, now you accept me in this committed relationship for everything I told you and everything I didn't tell you.
Now, going by undumpable, I hear you. And
Yes.
you are saying, you are answering the question right off the bat. Over some time, then things will be revealed. Maybe I don't have all the questions the first time. But you did hit it. If they ask the question, then
Yes.
let's go ahead and
Some
address
things
it.
will be revealed, but you know the thing about asking question is it makes it measurable.
Okay.
Do you eat broccoli? Right? You'll find out later. Now that you come over their house, they got a bowl full of broccoli.
Yeah, I thought you didn't eat
I thought you didn't say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just ask. Ask. It's okay to ask, right? So the problem with asking at 50 versus at 20, the only questions you're asking at 20 are, you my cousin? And what high school you went to?
Yeah.
So that's the only questions
Yeah.
at 20. Now you're at 50, right? You've had 30 years of relationships, whether it's with one person, 10 people, or whatever.
Yeah.
You should have learned something about relationships, and I need to ask you. I need to ask you about what you've been doing the last 30 years. Why? Because when you don't share what you've been doing for the last 30 years, it will show and it will be revealed in our relationship.
That you've been winging it?
That you've been winging, that you've been hiding it, you've been omitting it, that you really need help. But that's what ruins the relationship, is because, not because of what you shared in the beginning, it's what you didn't share and what you lie about. That's what ruins the relationship, because love is about acceptance. They want to accept you for who you are and all those things right there. Man, I tell you what, people want you to accept everything as soon as possible so they don't have to be looked at or judged.
Okay.
But I have to judge you now because you didn't tell me. I have to judge you now because you didn't tell me about the broccoli. I asked you about the broccoli, but you lied about the broccoli.
That's a straight lie.
So now I have to figure out who am I sitting with and how many lies have you told me?
And do I want to continue this?
Do I want to continue?
Yeah.
Right. Now, there lies the issue because, like in the book, and people start getting emotionally invested and the amount of time that they serve in a relationship, they will justify and redirect.
Why do you let those flags continue?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And justify why I should keep going because you spent the time with them. There you go. Life is easy. We make it hard. We make it hard.
Love the perspective.
Life is all about gathering all the lessons that you can gather. Your financial lessons, your friend lessons, your parent lessons, your children lessons, your dog lessons, your job lessons. It's all about gathering all those. The more you get those lessons and you start digging into them, not at the first grade level, at the college level of friendship,
Okay.
right? Because there's a difference. So now you're at that point where you're like, oh, this is what friendship really looks like, right? This is a mature friendship. You know, there's relationships that should have only been friendships. There's a difference between friendships and relationships. You have more conversations with your friendships than you do with your relationships. And then they're more truthful as a friendship than they are relationships.
Oh, now that's going to take me to another scale, another question.
Hold on, let's take a quick break.
Okay.
Then we go do it.